This is Vybz Kartel, and these are 10 things I cannot do without.
Be wise and fearless, no stupid and careless. No fast and them fruitful when them fearless. No fat chat about them kind when them shameless. Them love to crack bone and tear flesh. Politicians left the youth them in a beer rest. They're not helping the people who face their stress. Them still telling lies about them trying their best.
Now, this is my first essential, because in all things we do, we put God first. So my first essential is the Holy Bible. And my favorite psalm is Psalms 91. Psalms 91, I'm going to give you 3 verses.
Okay.
It says, "He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him will I trust." I mean, this psalm, what it means to me is like, when you need that extra help, when you think you can't go any further, you can always turn to the Psalms. They're like a direct connection to you and God. So that's my favorite Psalms. Being incarcerated, I spoke out to God, I cried for help, and He replied. And I made a promise that if you get me out, I'll never stop calling your name, never stop praising your name, never stop being as positive as I can. And I'm keeping that promise to this day, man. For me, God is everything. God is the greatest, man.
Welcome YouTube, it's A-Maverick, you tune into Spiritual. No, Kartel once more would have been on a podcast this time, it seems. And they asked him to list out around 10 essential or 10 things he cannot travel without, right? No, Kartel would have listed the Bible as one of his 10, right? But that is not necessarily the main thing I'm here to speak on. I just found it odd that he chose a particular Psalms to be his favorite Psalms. Yes, Psalms 91. And I found it odd for more than one reason. So the first reason I'm gonna point out is that he would have stated that he gonna read 3 verses out of his favorite Psalms, and I only heard 2. And I found it odd that he left out verse 3, which is very key. So I want to know if that was on purpose or he actually read it and it was edit. Don't know, but either way, it really odd, and I'm sure he has the Bible right in front of him, so he would have well aware that verse 3 is there, and that is not 3 verses but 2 verses. So I found that pretty odd. So Kartel, this God parade or God display you're on, it's becoming really spooky. But as I would have mentioned, either way, people are becoming aware that God exists, because that's how God works. What do you mean for evil? God can spin it round to make it be for good nonetheless. Now, the second thing why I found this spooky Kartel, or for the fans of Kartel, is that this psalm is one of the psalms that I know the devil would have quoted, and guess what? He quoted it to the Messiah. So I always have it to say that some of the wickedest people always quote Psalms 91. Don't believe me? check this out. In Matthew 4, the devil would have quoted this to Christ, quote a verse out of Psalms 91 to Christ. In his second attempt of tempting Christ to bow down to him or to give up, he said this to Christ, because it is written, he said, "For it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone." And Christ responded by saying, "It is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God." So show you how even the devils can twist scriptures, So when you hear people talking about the Bible is used for evil, no, it's not used for evil. It's how the devil manipulate words, because the devil know the Bible, right? So when I heard Kartel draw for that and stated that it is his favorite Psalms, I just found it odd. Out of all the Psalms he could pull that best suit him, he chose Psalms 91. How coincidental, or I guess it's well calculated. I mean, for those who don't know, that was from Psalms 91. I'm gonna ensure that I put it up so this doesn't seem a word of mouth, because I know that some people lazy and don't like to really look into things and need the help. So here what I'm gonna give you. Going back to Psalms 91, I'm picking up at verse 11. "For he shall give his angel charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone." So you see that even the devil is well aware of the scriptures. So why I'm saying this, don't just because someone quote scriptures or quote a Psalms, meaning they know they are now close to God or they are holy than thou and they are man of God. No, that's not how it works, because the devil quotes scriptures as well. And if you are not a man of understanding, as in Proverbs it would have advised that wisdom is the principal thing, but in all thy getting, get understanding. So this is why I'm bringing this out, to highlight people, beware. Don't get caught up in a narrative. Stay steadfast, be circumspect, wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. With spiritual, be spiritual. Until next time.